would if you're not aware of Elgato, I would definitely consider looking at Elgato. Elgato, you're not a sponsor, but you could be.
Yeah, I would totally enjoy an Elgato sponsorship.
Yeah, Elgato
I
are great
totally
people.
forgot to press the record button, but we're recording now. We're live
Okay.
for YouTube. No, we're not live for YouTube. We're recording for YouTube. YouTube.
We're recording for prosperity. So hello, YouTube. Welcome to the Rude Idea. This is your host, Nightstorm, and the actual host of the show, Mike Cool Kid.
What's going on? Let's get into it. You said you had something you wanted to talk about. What's going on?
Yeah. So I've never done one of these before. I'm in a live setting, but I used to do these quite a bit with some of my old friends. And you want to know what really beeps my boop?
Okay. What beeps your boop?
So okay. Have you ever clicked on a YouTube video with a title that says blah blah X is coming to blah blah. You know, like something like, oh, like I've got some great news to share. And you think, oh yeah, it's gonna be like maybe like a dev dropped like a tweet on the platform formerly known as Twitter,
Yeah.
or like maybe somebody screwed up in a in like an interview, and like they dropped the ball, or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you click on it, you get like most of the way through the video, and you realize like this content creator is just reading from like in the game itself, and they're just postulating on like, oh well, this hints towards this, or this hints towards that, or like this is describing a game mechanic we don't currently have in the game, but like this is a fairly new game, so this must be coming out soon.
Yeah, they're
And it's in a
speculating.
section.
Yeah.
It's not just even that they're speculating, like obviously it's going to be coming out, but let's say they're reading from a section of the game that's like called tips and tricks.
Yeah.
And like it's something you're like, the game tells you during the tutorial, read all of these tips and tricks, they will help you perform. And the content they're literally reading verbatim from is from the tips and tricks section that, if you have a brain, you've already read yourself, so you already know this is coming. And it just drives me nuts. Like, I spent 15 minutes on a video earlier today, and I'm like, dude, I get it. Content creators, you need to get the clicks and you need to get the engagement, but like garbage clickbait like that with titles and like with like stars on the side saying new content coming, or new mechanic found in this game, like, don't deceive your viewers. It is only going to build a sense of distrust in you, especially if you're a newer creator.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times I have unfollowed and hit do not recommend on especially YouTube people.
Yeah.
For like just like that kind of switch and bait. What's it called? Bait and switch.
Yeah, bait and switch. Yeah.
Like, those kind of tactics, man, I tell you, you are gonna lose more people than you gain. And if your whole idea is to just get like random kids who don't know any better, and you want that kind of community, fine. That's your business.
I didn't think they would.
But I'm telling you,
but yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like they're not going to be around forever, because eventually they're going to wisen up to your antics.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was thinking about something like that like a while ago, and like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to think about the fact that the concerns that most people have about like big media today. It's the same, like people who do like third party media, like influencers mainly, and like all of these sort of like bigger YouTube channels or bigger Twitch or bigger Kick or bigger like whatever channels. They effectively do the same thing, but for like less money, which is it's just kind of embarrassing. And they also don't have like investors that invest in their company, so they can't like be, I don't know, embarrassed, by like a lack of standards, or be threatened by a lack of investor pullout or advertiser pullout. Most people can't. So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird place that we're in. I'm telling you, social media fucked up everything. I'm just saying.
As a general rule of thumb, I agree. There are certain aspects to social media that I am appreciative of. Like, I do love that, like, through social media, like you find out about a school shooting as it's happening.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
there was a threat of one in my area a few years ago, and I was able to be like, hey, I called the person who worked there that I knew, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, are there cops there yet? And it turned out, no, there weren't any cops there yet. There was one on-duty cop that was there, and he was still waiting for backup like 10 minutes afterwards.
Oh damn, damn. Well, yeah, like the speed at which information can transfer through society, I think that's useful, but it's only valuable whenever it's accurate. Otherwise, it just ends up being,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fire in a theater, which is not useful.
Yeah,
Um,
I totally agree. Like
yeah.
there are, I mean, like that's the internet in like a nutshell.
No,
Is
no.
like
I mean, the internet is a
there's
tool.
always
I
right,
think it's
right.
the people. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like that's what I'm saying. Well, like social media is a facet of the internet where it's like you are gonna find sections that are really useful, really great. You can find great like on TikTok. There are fantastic parts of TikTok, but it's so easy for some people to get lost in the minutia of like all the garbage.
Yeah.
And like you gotta have good self-discipline to just back away and say like, hey, I'm only going to engage with XYZ, and I'm just not going to engage with any of this other garbage.
Yeah, I mean, if they have some sort of like foundational education, they'll probably think of something like that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, that's probably not going to be a thing going forward. I mean, we went from No Child Left Behind to fuck these kids. So, the idea that like we could we could actually end up like preventing some of the more like horrible things happening, like the spreading of misinformation, like, and the difference between disinformation is like intentional, like you know that you're saying something that's incorrect, but misinformation, it's normally spread like with good intentions, and
Yes.
that ends
Yes,
up
it
like
is.
basically making noise in a society where we could do with less of it. So
It's like static. It's
yeah,
like static. I know a lot of our viewers might be a little bit too young to remember static on a TV,
yeah.
but like it static on a TV used to be just like this mild like sound, and it was like a I don't know how to describe it without using the
What they
word
call it?
static.
Was it called like gray noise
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
no? It was called white
White
noise.
noise.
Yeah,
White
yeah,
noise.
white noise, and it was just like black and white
Yeah,
snow on the TV.
yeah.
Yeah, and that would
There's a lot of
interfere
good
with the
horror.
transmission. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of good horror movies and like books written about white noise and stuff.
yeah, yeah. It's
Well, initially they thought that's how like ghosts or like otherworldly beings were trying to communicate with us, and that's what caused white noise.
hmm.
Yeah,
That's because of
that
misinformation too.
yeah, that used to be, well, people didn't know, and so they made up their own ideas.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the exact same thing. It's
Yeah,
misinformation. Yeah. So,
yeah.
but yeah, no, that's interesting. That's a real shame. I don't know, and it doesn't seem like we have any sort of like mechanism to like push back on that, because any sort of social media institution, anywhere from like TikTok to YouTube, they're not going to have. They only care about like engagement, and like the only other concern that people end up with, like from Alphabet, so like from Google or from any of like the Google apps to YouTube, they only care about like whether or not you end up endangering some sort of space for an advertiser. And after that, like all the other information you talk about, as long as it's said in an advertiser friendly way, which is its own like subset of the English language now, then you can still say like the wrong thing, which is not, that's like not valuable. And that, so there's no, basically I'm saying there's no feedback loop for us going down this path. Like we just still see sunshine and rainbows, and we can't tell that there's a fucking cliff and like I don't know, werewolves and like evil monsters down the road. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and it's really hard to balance that with like you want to put like certain restrictions in place so people can't yell fire in like a theater or something,
Yeah.
but you also want people to feel free to be able to express ideas that may not go against societal norms. Like obviously we don't want,
Yeah, you don't want censorship. This is
you
North
you
Korea
don't
or
you don't
some
yeah
shit. Yeah.
yeah. Like it's a very fine balancing point between, you can't, like, it is illegal to yell fire in a theater, and like censoring your people from having ideas.
Yeah. But that ends up being an extraordinarily complex assessment and like problem associated with trying to like come up with the next fire in a theater, because fire in a theater is very specific and concrete.
Yes.
If you're having a conversation about something that people don't know, and like even the people who are at the bleeding edge of like societal understanding of some concept, if they're still trying to understand it, then having everybody talk about it before them is actually really detrimental, because you end up with like a social assumption or conclusion before we end up with one that's like factually accurate that can be verified. And again, like you said, like we can't just sort of like stop people from talking. We're not fucking commies or fascists. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
We're not fucking weirdos.
Yeah. I think I shared a video in the Discord about like Finland coming up with a system to teach their children what like fake news was and how to verify bits of information. And I think like that's, yo, Mike, what it do? What's going on, Joey? This is a little podcast that me and my buddy started, so just buckle up. But yeah, no, Finland has this entire program that they put on to their kids to help them like decipher information and like understand how to check sources. And I was noticing that like there are a lot of people that don't actually know how to do that, and it's not just like MLA format or like some sort of like standard or something like that from like grammar school. It's more like, is this logically consistent? Does it make sense based off of the claim that it's making? And like, are there a set of conclusions that are being made that have absolutely nothing to do with this claim? Is it like a logical fallacy? Is the statement a logical fallacy with respect to the information that's been brought about? And I don't know, if we had that, I felt like we should have had that like 14 years ago when I was in. Actually, 14 years ago, I still wasn't in high school. Shit. Like when I was in high school, I feel like that would have been. Yeah. I feel like that would have been the thing for society as a whole. But nowadays,
well, it feels like with the advent of cell phones getting to where they are now and like that kind of stuff, our generation in particular, because we grew up, like, I don't know about you, I didn't have a cell phone until I was 18.
Yeah, true.
But like it feels like our generation, like, because we bridged that gap between having no cell phones and like having this level of cell phone.
Yeah.
And like just the level of connectivity, we're in that bridge area where it's like we could have used these safeguards in our education system that are only now becoming, like even really discussed.
Yeah, discussed, yeah.
Because, like a lot of educators, they're usually most education systems are based on information that's like 10, 15 years old. It's very hard to find like really super up to date
or fundamental concepts like science and math and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I think it has to do with the fact that we just sort of like we exist in that. I got a flip phone when I was 13 because I got rid of we got rid of the home phone. Oh yeah. Damn, 13 is.
Yeah, these kids. I mean, yeah, my little sister had one at 15, I think.
Yeah. I remember going to Japan thinking that it was the craziest thing. There were so many people who had cell phones when I was in high school that were like they were in like middle school and stuff like that, and it just made sense for them. But
did you have a cell phone in Japan at least?
I did, but it was later on. It wasn't when I was. I arrived there when I was 15, so I ended up getting one when I was like just turned 18, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was there for like 2 whole years without a cell phone, and I functioned fine. No, I did have a watch, which is like annoying as shit, by the way. Because I'm left-handed.
I hate. I don't like. Oh, you're left-handed. Oh, okay. I hate like things on my wrists.
Yeah, they just freaks me out. It's like weird. I don't know. It just feels weird.
So I'm such an old man. Yet another example of how old man I am. I used to keep a pocket watch.
Oh, nice. A little bit of. Did you keep a monocle too?
It was not a fancy pocket watch. It was a pocket watch.
Oh, it was just a watch on a chain.
No, I did not have a monocle. I wear normal glasses.
You should have rocked the monocle in a 3-piece suit.
No.
That would have been awesome. But yeah, I don't know. Just to put a bow tie on that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it's crazy because people are talking about I'm 29 now and I'm on this thing way too much, dumb scrolling, and hell yeah, a pocket watch. Yeah, I don't know. Twitter is supposed to be Doom. Yeah, Twitter is supposed to be like this sort of citizen tool, and I don't think any social media institution or a social media
people are
tool
moving
is
over
going
to
to be
blue
that.
skies and all this other garbage, and it's like social media is social media. Like we have to curate our circle.
It's
Not
still, we
necessarily
don't.
to be
It's
a-
still
not
it's
necessarily
still not
to
going to
be
be a
a-
tool for news. It's never going to be a
Yeah, I
tool for
agree.
news. We're always going to be, when you go to Blue Sky. I made an account there, by the way. Whenever you go to Blue Sky, it's they have like privacy settings that make it to where like you can't have the suggestive algorithm push like force feed you data or force feed you like what do you call it, commercials or ads, and as well as content. So certain types of commercials, ads, and content. And the same thing is true for like certain. I think there are like a few other like privacy restrictions that you can like alter, but Blue Sky was made by the guy who originally founded Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. So I don't know. I don't trust any of that shit. It's just a very unique way for people to come up with more Nielsen ratings. That's effectively what it is. So
That's why, like, on Reddit, on Reddit is a special thing that, like, yes, there's a lot of trolls, blah, blah, blah. You find that everywhere. But, like, if you're on certain Reddit boards that are well moderated,
yeah,
and that's the only ones I interact with,
yeah,
you don't have to worry about that.
yeah. But that's
Like, you know,
still the basis of that is still going to be like steeped in like competent people asking like the right questions
Right.
to like curate what's on the screen. And
Right.
that's possible in these little like subsections in society on social media. But most of social media is just a replication of like the cool kids table.
Yep.
And it's cool at certain times. Like you said, like you can find certain spots of Reddit where it's like magical. Like, holy shit, they have like musical theory Reddit, and they have like physics Reddit, and they have like people who are super serious and they're like genuinely answering questions, and they're like having like these sort of intellectual discussions. And they're not like mathematicians in the field, they're just curious. And you could do the same thing on TikTok. You can find a group of people on TikTok who are just like all professionals in like medicine or physics or biology, and you can find like some really magical shit on there. And then that's like 2% of the app. And then after that, it's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people who are just into TikTok dances or the latest like I don't know, cultural, the faux pas. Like think about how fast the Will Smith slap spread across TikTok. Think about how fast. Oh, even here's one, and I made a video about this too on my TikTok. Have you seen the video of the woman from New Zealand doing the haka in the parliament? Actually, no, you're not on TikTok anymore, are you?
They know.
Shit. Okay. Well, okay. Long story short, there was a set of actions that occurred in the New Zealand Parliament, and there were a lot of people who were like they felt left out of the discussion to actually remove or talk about a new piece of legislation that was being brought up, and they just asked for the vote. And for them, it felt like they were being pushed or hurried into it, and it didn't allow for a level of consensus that they expected. Because of that, there was a young representative. After they asked for the vote count, she reported the vote count, and then it sounded like she was singing a hymn. And then after she sung that, she ripped the paper that included like their votes on it, and she started to perform the haka. And you've seen the haka, right? Have you seen the haka from New Zealand?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It looks awesome. It's like it's a little flamboyant. It's really impressive, to be honest with you. I've seen it in like rugby matches. That they do it right before rugby matches. They do it before a ceremony. They do it before a wedding. It's almost like it's magical, almost. It shows like their strength and defiance and all of this sort of like indigenous pride that the Maori have within their culture and within like the fashion state of New Zealand. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are just like reposting it only when she does the haka. If you only look at it after she starts the haka, it just turns into a fucking TikTok dance. But if you actually look at the translation of what she says, the little song that she sings right before she rips the paper and then does the haka, she says, "You're a government that exists because we allow you to, and I hereby revoke your right to exist." And in doing so, she's like, that preamble is stating that, like, I don't approve of these behaviors. This is not appropriate. This is my filibuster, and we're going to split the government. And it's basically a vote of no confidence from the Maori natives that exist in the New Zealand Parliament. But it's just turned into like if you look into the comment section, people are just like, "Oh man, I love that dance. Oh, that's fucking dope. We should have that in our government." Like, bro, you just turned it into a fucking TikTok dance as opposed to it being like an actual activist action. And I don't think anybody actually noticed that. Like 99% of the people who reposted it only posted the haka because the haka is cool looking, as opposed to them seeing an actual political, like, I don't want to say revolution because it has like violent, like what do you call it, connotations. But it's meant to be like this like polite step back and refusal to commit to the current government. And because they have a parliament, it's basically a vote of no confidence. But I don't know. It's amazing once you understand that context. But like I said, you can't get that because most people are saying that it's like misinformation. Or people are calling her disrespectful. Yeah, which is stupid. She's not being disrespectful. Like she went and did an interview right after that. And like basically they said that she basically just went and answered some questions, and they were answering those sort of like baity questions in the interview. And she was like, "No, it's all about respect, 100% respect. We're here to actually represent the people." And then she went on and did this little spiel. And I thought it was like, after I heard all of that, there's no possible way you could say that it was disrespectful or it was mean or it was clownish or buffoonery or something, some other bullshit that some people are saying. It was amazing. But because we don't have context and because information travels too fast sometimes, I don't even know if that information is going to get out. I don't even know if people are going to see it like that. People are probably just going to side with it because the haka is cool. And that's just such a like a downgrade of what it actually is. Where is Kerbal? I'm going to be playing Kerbal probably later on today or probably tomorrow. Wilder.
It's just like, if you remember, obviously you're not old enough to properly remember, but I'm sure you've seen, there was an actor who won Best Actor award, and he allowed a Native American lady
I've seen
to come
that.
up. Yep, yeah. That whole thing, and I'm like, it's the same thing, and people, like, it's not really even talked about today. You'll see it on, like, most profound things that happened at the Academy Awards, but like that, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. People are all about the highlights nowadays, which is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Bit obnoxious, yeah. So, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we went to some other I don't know, some other topic?
Sorry, I got really into what we were talking about.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think I said basically everything I wanted to say about the whole YouTube thing.
Yeah.
I mean, for those who play and care, December 16th, we're having a subset in Pokemon Pocket. The Freedom Station in Helldivers 2 is up and operational.
The DSS, yes.
Battlefield content has been a shit ton of fun.
It has been amazing. Oh my God.
it's nice to be able to play with some new friends and some old friends, and last night we really confirmed why we have this podcast.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's just a whole bunch of random conversations. I did get a positive comment. It's just like, dude, like on my YouTube channel. Okay, youtube.com/mycoolkid. You can see it all. Basically, shameless plug there. Basically, I had a comment on one of my older Battlefield videos, and the dude was just like, dude, this is what I'm about, man. I like this sort of casual playing with buddies, talking about some shit. And I was like, yeah, man, stick around, man. We're gonna have more of
yeah,
it.
we're really not tryhards.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like we like to be good at the game,
yeah,
but we're not going to be sweaty about it. We're
yeah.
just, we're going to try to do good, have some good talks. For I can only speak for myself. For me, it is about hanging out with friends first.
Oh, yeah.
Second is like doing good in whatever game we're doing.
Yeah, yeah. It is turning into like a. There are aspects of it that do turn into like a mystery science theater.
Yeah.
Me and my buddies keep saying we need to make a podcast, dude. As long as I try to make a point not to talk about anything like too cringy. Like I'm not doing any red pill shit, and I'm not doing any like direct political shit. But outside of that, I think everybody should or like dating shit. Like there's too many. You can make a really strong argument, Joey, that there are too many there's too much podcast content because like everybody's got a podcast about something, and for some reason, everybody's idea ends up being like hyper vapid when they're talking about like dating or men or women or doing some gender war shit or talking about some I don't know social commentary. And I realize that there's a little bit of irony considering the fact that we just did that, but I don't know. We're better than most. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
We're just trying to express our thoughts in a, mostly constructive way.
Yeah, true.
Without trying to offend too many people, because somebody's always going to be offended.
That's okay. We can offend people. It's just if we have to do it in like a rational way. It can't be.
Yeah. We're not doing it just to be mean. We're doing it, No.
We have opinions, and most people are offended by opinions that are too different from
right. That's what I was saying. You're like nobody's going to not be offended.
True. Yeah.
Somebody's always mad about some bullshit.
Yeah. What else? You already did your shout out for Pokemon.
Yeah.
I am going to be doing more Kerbal Space Program stuff. I installed like a shite ton of mods. Someone in the chat just asked about that, and I'm a little overwhelmed because like before there were probably like maybe like 200, 300 parts. Now there's probably like 1,000. Like there's a lot of stuff in there.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's not just 1,000 different parts. Like it's different systems. So like before, it was just like fuel and electricity and like physics. That's the only thing that you had to concern yourself with. I installed something called like life support. It's called TAC life support mod to KSP, and it basically makes it to where they all require food. I miss Kerbal streams, to be honest. Yeah, I do too, but Kerbal Space Program 2 ended up turning into a big-ass turd. But yeah, I downloaded a mod that makes it to where they have requirements associated with life support. So they need food, they need water, they produce waste products, so like carbon dioxide. So if you don't have a CO2 scrubber, they'll suffocate. If you don't have wastewater systems or systems to deal with wastewater, then they'll run out of water and they'll just end up getting sick and then like pass away. They also have a really complex electrical system. So now it's not just electric charge. That used to just be like basically like a bar, like a health bar in the original KSP Nightstorm. And then now it's like electric charge, waste heat, and I think they have something like built into the system where you have to initialize coolant systems. So if you don't have like a radiator, then you'll build up too much waste heat and the part will break because it'll get like too hot in space. And all of these new constraints, along with like extra planets that I added. Like there's like 7 extra planets in the original Kerbal system. Yeah, there's like 7 planets in the original Kerbal system, and I think I added 6 more. And each one of those 6 all have moons, at least like 1 or 2. There are some like big gas giants that replicate like Saturn and Neptune, that have like 8, like have between like 3 and 4 moons. And there are also another star system, like far away from.
To ask about that.
Yeah, there's another star system far away from Kerbal. That the anchor, it's basically 3 star systems, and it's anchored by a black hole. So I don't know if you ever seen Interstellar.
Yeah.
So basically, you know how like Gargantua was the black hole that was anchoring the planets.
Right.
Think about it like that, but they're a little bit further away. They're further away in their star system. So once you go into the system, there's a binary star.
It's a small solar system.
Well, yeah, it's a compound solar system.
Yeah.
Where the black hole is at the center, and
or galaxy. I'm sorry, it's a small galaxy.
Yeah, I guess
because that's what our galaxy is. It has a supermassive black hole at the very center of it.
Yeah. Well, every galaxy has that. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just like a lot of stuff that's just been added in, and I've got to figure out a way to like get those systems to work in my head. But I got to start from the very beginning. Got to build me some planes, and
that's what I was about to say. Is don't you have to start with planes before you even get into orbit?
Yeah. You got to start with planes. You got to get science on the ground. You got to explore Kerbin, and then after that, you go to the Mun, M-U-N, and then you go to Minmus. This is a secondary moon for Kerbal, and then after that, you can go to like Duna, or there's another one called Dres, which is like their analog for Venus. So like it has like really thick clouds and like a crazy atmosphere, and it has like its own moon, and it looks just like, Kerbin or Earth. And then, you just have all the other planets, and it's going to be crazy. There's like telecommunications networks that you have to put up. You can't just launch a drone or a probe out into space and it'll just work. You have to have satellite communications that relay back to the Kerbin Space Center so you can actually control the drone. It's going to be epic. I'm a little stoked. I'm a little too excited. But yeah, I've got that coming down the pipeline once I figure out how to do everything, and finally got me a new job after a record-breaking 24 days of unemployment. Yeah, I just finished filling out like my unemployment thing recently, actually, like before we got on the podcast. So hopefully I got them checks coming. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be my first day of being employed and of actually working, and that's going to be a whole lot of exciting stuff coming, guys. Whole lot of exciting stuff. But yeah, no, that's all the. Those are all the I don't know, church announcements, whatever you would call it.
Church announcements.
Yeah.
Boy, it's been a while since I was part of a church to hear somebody talk about church announcements.
Yeah. What are you doing for work? I'm just going to be it's called a technical support specialist, which is very generic, but basically I'm just going to be solving not tier 1 problems, but they're like tier 3 problems. So it's like closer to the devs and engineers and stuff like that. Just like cool. Translating that stuff for them, or working with the partner, like the people that are our clients, and making sure that it's not user error on a higher level. So making sure that they use the APIs correctly and stuff like that.
So you're not going to be asking them to turn it off and turn it back on again?
Nah, I'm not going to be doing the turn it off and turn it on again. Yeah. I think those days are behind me, sadly, but luckily. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. No, I'm pretty stoked. And the pay, holy shit. I remember talking to him, and he's like super laid back. This guy is going to be my manager, and he was just like, "Yeah, I can offer you this much." And in my head, okay, on the phone, I was just keeping a straight face. Like, actually, I wasn't on the phone. We were in a Google Meet, so he could see my face. I probably made a face. I don't know, but it's about like 1.5 times more. I'm making like 50% more than what I was making. and I was already making like living alone in North Carolina. I was making a good amount. Like I was saving up more than half of my paycheck every paycheck. So I'm pumped. I'm stoked. I'm ready for it.
You can finally go on like a real vacation and not worry.
Yeah. No, I told y'all that, and I was just thinking like the last vacation I went on was like almost 2.5 years ago, and it was to Cancun, and it was nice. It was 2 weeks. I got bored after 1 week because I ran out of like tours to do. I just sort of went to the beach and hung out, and I was like the entire time I was doing Airbnb. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was just sort of like walking around. I probably walked like 7-8 miles a day when I was there. It'd be nice to be like able to go on vacation and be a slack ass and not have anything to do, because I was definitely like I don't know. It definitely felt like it was a little bit of work after I got there, but yeah, this is going to be amazing. Not going to go to Mexico again because I'm too damn tall. I don't know if I told you that, but I didn't fit in a damn thing. I didn't fit on the bed. I didn't fit in anybody's car and anybody's Uber. I'm too damn tall. So yeah, the next place I'm going to go to is going to have to be like Northern Europe or something.
So I actually there's a wrestler who's about your height who he went to Japan and lived there for about 1.5 years, and he said, man, it was so hard. He had to change apartments twice because he just couldn't see like the toilet in his first apartment. He had to like squat. He couldn't quite actually sit in the bathroom.
Yeah.
To properly like he had to kind of like poop at like half a sitting angle.
Yeah.
It was miserable.
Yeah, no, it can definitely be miserable. I never felt that in Japan. When I was in Japan, I was about 6'2". As I've gone maybe like 3 inches since the end of high school. It helps if you're a skinnier person too. But yeah, it could definitely be rough. But yeah, no, Northern Europe, probably maybe like Denmark or some place in Belgium or Holland or something, because there's some tall ass people there. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have to figure out something. Or Iceland. I really want. I've never posted any of my like photography, and most of it's like gone because all of the photos that I took was in like college and like before my old apartment burnt down, so I don't have any of the old stuff. But like I would like to get into photography again, so I might be able to do that with this this newfound income.
Problem with Iceland, I've heard, is unless you're like having promiscuous sex, there's not a whole lot to do in Iceland. Like there's some cool tours of nature, and you can go make their bread.
Yeah.
That's like
you told me about it. Yeah, it's like in the dirt.
Yeah, and it's not actually in the dirt. Don't put so what you do is
it's underground.
Yeah, you take the bread, you wrap it in tin foil, then you put it in a cast iron pot.
Yeah.
Then you wrap that whole thing in aluminum foil, and then you dig it in the dirt that's like really moist, but it's really hot.
Yeah.
And then you leave it for like 24 hours, and you come back, and it's like really good soda bread.
Oh, nice.
And
me and my buddy are thinking about Sweden and Norway. Sweden and Norway would be dope. I don't know about Sweden. I mean, Norway. I think Norway would be awesome. I don't know why I'm not fond of Sweden though. I don't know.
Sweden's awesome. Everything I've ever heard is fantastic. I'd love to go to Scotland, Ireland. Not really Great Britain as far as like the southern part.
Yeah.
Like London. You know what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't want to go to London. I feel like England, it would be pretty mid. I feel like Ireland would be amazing.
That great, apparently. Ireland would be amazing. The only issue I would have is I'm not allowed to drink anymore. Like I would go there. I'd like have like a shot a week of like some of the finest whiskey man could ever create, and then that'd be it. But I'd love to go on like cheese tours. The one place I'd want to go in England would be the city of Cheddar.
Oh, okay.
Where like cheddar cheese is from.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's a factory. There's only two factories left that make it the traditional old-fashioned way.
Hmm.
And oh my God, I'd love to go there. It looks so good.
Me and my
And
buddy want to go to a legit IKEA. Yeah, no, that would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Switzerland would be a fun one. I've heard really good things about
Oh yeah,
Switzerland.
I Switzerland would be amazing, but I just the cost would be crazy. I suppose I could
It
afford it
is. It
now,
is a
but
little bit of yeah. It is a little bit pricey.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Why
France
go to a
France
place?
seems kind of dull
No, I would
to
never
me.
want to go to Paris. Paris would be a bag of
Yeah, you'd want to
balls.
go to like the French countryside,
French
but then you get a
Riviera,
lot of
southern
yeah.
France.
You get some pretty stuck up people though. I've heard in France.
Well, yeah, Paris is not a Parisians don't like foreigners. It's their city. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and I can get that. Like, I just wouldn't want to mess up their vibe or have to deal with their bullshit. So, yeah, no, it would. I think it would be nice to see, but I wouldn't want to be a tourist there and be curious. You know, I would love to go to southern France and chill out, max and relax in some
I've
place
always
like
wanted to go
Monaco.
to like I used to want to go to Russia a long time ago.
Oh,
But like obviously nowadays I wouldn't like you couldn't pay me to go to Russia.
yeah, yeah. Well,
There's
Russia's a
no
very
way.
odd place. Um,
I've heard great things about the people, but like the laws are sketchy for American tourists and
Yeah,
mm-mm.
so that'd be a no go.
Yeah.
um, yeah, I wouldn't. I was thinking about
New Zealand would be fun.
New Zealand would be awesome. It's so
I've heard
fucking far
really
away
good things
though.
about it.
Like, hold on, let me look up a plane flight for New Zealand because it's further away than Japan, and Japan is like 13 hours. I remember flying on that flight. I remember okay when I was an exchange student flying over to Japan. I remember going to sleep twice for like 6 hours and waking up and being like, "Fuck, I'm still on this plane." That's like that's the only real way to like pass the time. Flight from Hyung to what is it? New Zealand? Is it like Auckland? Auckland, New Zealand. I don't know if they're 22 hours. 1.5K.
Jeez.
22 hours from North Carolina to Auckland. Balls. But if you were to go to, let's see here, I don't know, Portugal?
Portugal could be fun. It's just a little hot there.
It's 9 hours. Nah, Portugal's like, I mean, the Iberian Peninsula. I think inside like inner Spain is really really hot, but Portugal or like the Spanish coast, like on the Iberian Peninsula, it's basically a peninsula. So it would be sort of like it could be hot, but it would be like Florida breezy. You know, I don't know if you've been to Florida.
Oh. No,
Okay.
I have not been more than 250 miles away from where I live.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it would be. I think it would be tolerable. I think you would be able to deal with it.
I hate the heat.
Or you could just go at a very specific time of the year. You wouldn't have to go
I suppose
to.
that's true. That's why if I ever get to go to Japan, I want to go in like September, October.
See,
You know,
Japanese Christmas would be amazing.
yeah, or like early spring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd love to be leaving about the time that the cherry blossoms are starting to fall.
Cherry blossoms. You can actually time that really well in
Mhm.
Japan. They track that
I've
shit
heard.
really, really, really closely. They actually,
Well, it's just like the northeast of the U.S. with like the fall.
yeah, 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 pretty much. But yeah, I don't know. Just got to buckle down, got to lock in, and
Right.
stack up that paper so I can, I don't know, do cool shit. I
Should be
think,
pretty easy considering.
yeah, yeah.
You know, like you're not a very fiscally irresponsible person from what I understand.
No, no. I like my expenditures amount to mainly food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Amen to that. That was always my big one when I made good money was like, oh, I have lots of extra money. Well, let's splurge and get something I really love, but it's very expensive. Like I'll get like a 30-year aged cheddar and I'll buy like 2 pounds of it. Okay, well that's $22 a pound.
yeah.
Well, let's spend nearly $50 on some cheese. But damn, it's good cheese. It's worth it. Just,
Yeah.
remember it's a treat. It's one of those things you get like once every couple years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been around the United States. Man, Florida sucks. North Carolina is mad depending on the time of year. Yeah, if you're talking about weather, it could get really, really hot in North Carolina. But yeah. Florida is probably going to destroy your soul, and you're going to want to stay inside most of the time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I've
But,
heard there's some really good tea plantations there.
in Florida?
No, North Carolina. Or maybe I'm
North,
thinking of South Carolina.
that might be South
It's one of the
Carolina.
two Carolinas because I know there was
North
an
Carolina had
area.
tobacco.
Okay, well, yeah, because one of them used to be good tobacco land,
No, it still
but
is. The place
no.
where
But I'm saying that the area I'm talking about, it used to be good
ah,
tobacco land, and for
okay.
whatever reason, the farm got sold,
Yeah.
and so one of the tea producers decided it was Lipton. Lipton moved in and was like, we're gonna try to make American-made tea because that was the thing to do in like the 70s, I think, was like we want American-made products.
Yeah.
And apparently, there's like a brand of American-made tea. It's no longer owned by Lipton, but it's really good tea. But it's
Hmm.
not. It's pretty expensive because it's so like they don't have a lot of land.
Yeah. Never knew that.
Yeah, it's on an episode of Modern Marvels.
Oh, okay. We also do furniture, ladies and gentlemen. North Carolina,
Oh,
known for furniture, and tobacco.
you got a lot of Amish out there, or
I think we do. I think we have some Amish. I know that like one of my friends, she loves to go and get like Amish bread. Um,
oh,
yeah, but I don't know. Well, I don't think it's like an overwhelming amount. Amish
I
people
don't
are
know.
mainly like Pennsylvania Dutch people, so when they
I
haven't
don't
like
know if
migrated down.
I don't know if you remember me talking about it, but my grandmother used to make really nice knitted blankets.
Yeah,
And she used to go up north because in near Viroqua Lafarge area where she grew up, there's this fairly large Amish community, and she had good relations with them. She almost apparently dated somebody who was Amish,
oh,
and she used to every year when she was alive, she would bring one of those blankets with her, and she would trade it, and they would give her just cheese and milk and eggs and butter and sweet treats. And I remember going with her because like they just adored her blankets.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's so cool. I wish I still had mine that she made for me, but
Oh
it
man,
got ratty, and
yeah,
nobody in my family really knows how to. I know how to knit a little bit, but not nearly well enough to fix something like that.
yeah. Um,
The
so
Amish are great.
I've decided
Absolutely
we
fantastic.
can keep talking about anything, but I've decided to go ahead and push on to the walk around tour version or
Okay.
part of the what you call it. Um, I just hauled a Big Cat 938 wheel loader of North Carolina to Michigan. Was there Friday near Raleigh, North Carolina? Oh, okay. I went to college at NC State in Raleigh. Raleigh's really nice.
I've heard
Cary, North
fantastic things
Carolina
about
is
Raleigh.
really nice. The Research Triangle is amazing.
Hey, we were talking about that during our playthrough of
Battlefield,
not
yeah,
BattleTech, Battlefield.
yeah.
All these battle games.
Battle games. But yeah. Anything else? I don't even know if we what the hell was the topic just now?
Oh, that's the problem. We have this ADHD, and we're just like, what were we talking about? I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah,
Family Mart.
Family Mart.
Oh, is that one? What is that? What
Oh,
is
this is like a
this?
big camera. This is department stores are always the ish. They're like 12-story tall,
Those drones are so cool.
12-story tall centers to just like sell shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, the highlights.
Look at those lines.
Yeah, very
Goodness.
orderly. Oh, I'm glad to see people, flexing the umbrellas.
I don't know. Women who wear umbrellas on like really sunny days, I don't know why I think that's attractive.
It's they're concerned about their health. The sun can destroy you, dude. If you're not even, I mean, okay, I'm black. Even if you're black and you get too much sun, it can fucking destroy you. So, I mean, you just gotta. For guys, it's less so, but for women, it can be more devastating. And if you're not a person who has like high levels of melanin that ends up, protecting your skin, then it's gonna be devastating. If you don't believe me, look at Mongolian people who live in high altitude, and they age a lot quicker than Japanese people. Yeah.
Because I have like my beard is red. I don't have red hair, but my beard is red because my mom is like super redhead, and man, I burn. I do not tan. I get a little itty bitty tan during the summer, but just the slightest amount.
Dude, these little stalls, they would have like the best fucking food. Holy
I know.
shit.
I've heard.
Oh, look at what he's doing! Oh my god.
Yeah. I remember watching an episode of Iron Chef.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who he was friends with a priest of a shrine, and he would do traditional Italian dishes out of a noodle cart.
That's awesome.
And he was stationed there because according to the local laws. Yeah, I love that stuff. And because of the local laws, he wasn't at the time. This is like early 90s. He wasn't allowed to just have his stall wherever he wanted it. So he had to befriend them, and he basically gave them 3 meals.
Yeah.
And then he was allowed to be there, and he made it to onto Iron Chef Japan because his meals were good enough.
Awesome. That's pretty dope. There are a lot of instances where you can go from like quote nothing to something in Japan. And I remember seeing that because of I think I told you about this before. This guy's named Dante. I think it's crazy where on one side of the building could be on ground level and the other can be like on the 12th floor there in Japan. I don't think I've never seen that. I've seen that happen in China in certain places.
Singapore, I know that's a big deal.
Yeah, Singapore, and there's another place called like Chongqing. Or something. I can't remember the place.
That fucking mess of a city,
dude.
Oh my god.
They've got some like really cool futuristic Blade Runner looking cities, but I wouldn't want to live there because like I follow a guy on TikTok and he was talking about how he hates living in that city because you have to walk up like 12 flights of stairs before you can get on an elevator to go to the ground level to take a bus so you can get to work. To go down like 30 other floors of a building or something like that. It's kind of it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, Joey. Sweet ass architecture. But anyway, there's a lot of instances of people like going to Japan
in English.
Maybe it wasn't Japan. LOL. I wasn't fully listening. Wait, hold on. We gotta look at the pretty people. Oh, the one with the long dress. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, I wasn't fully listening to my buddy. Oh yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, I was talking about this the other day. There's a guy. He's a black guy. His name is Dante Carver. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just hold on. Let me pause this real quick. He went to Japan as just like a business administration grad, and hold on. Let's see, Dante Carver, Japan. Oh, here he is. Is Japan top commercial star? Okay, best of Japan, best of Dante Carver. He's just an American dude. Like he's like the same age as my brother, and this is another guy. He's black, and he turned into like he had a fascination for like Japanese folk music. And he started singing it at karaoke, and he just kept singing it, and he started studying more Japanese, and he kept singing it. And at some point, like he became famous and he started like actually making money, and then he started like touring around Japan. I don't think this is the guy actually, but it's another guy who started doing that. Japanese commercials with famous SoftBank dog? This is an old ass commercial, holy shit. But she's Onei-chan, so she's like the sister. That's the mom. And then look, just out of nowhere, this is black dude just walks in, center stage, left stage.
What's this white family 24 about? What?
ねえ、あやちゃん、ホワイト家族24って何？家でも仕事の話。
僕も知りたい。
お兄ちゃんも？お兄ちゃん今日帰り遅くなるんじゃない？
聞いてませんでした。
何言ってんの？だから。
俺も知りたいな。
お父さんも？
あなたは知らなくてもいいわよ。
なんで？何がおかしい？
すみませんお父さん。
何なの？ホワイト家族24って。
家族への国内通話に。
Free family calls. It's just a type of service plan that SoftBank offers.
24時間無料。ソフトバンク。
本当にお得なの？
はい、ホワイト家族24は家族への国内通話が24時間無料にキャッシュバックキャンペーンもやってます。
お疲れ様。
喋りすぎちゃった。
本当声かけよみたいね。
参ったな。
ホワイト家族24。
Okay.
ありがとうございました。
Anyway, but yeah, no, Dante Carver is just like legit famous, and hold on.
Dante Carver.
I don't know. I don't want to use this guy's thing.
いた。
たまには留守がいいわね。
おーい、みん
Like
な見てるか？
it's so random. Like it's so bizarre. Like it's not random technically, but like he went to Japan. He knew some Japanese. He was a business administration grad, and like that's it. Like he started acting, and then like he became, at one point he was literally the most popular like TV personality in Japan. Like the most popular. Like without, oh my god, why does he have a unibrow? Like without any question. Like there's a group in Japan called SMAP, and they're like known as a sort of like hey, there we go. Dude, love that. He's always like doing like coffee commercials and stuff.
予想外です。
政府さんも眉毛つながってる。
プラチナ眉毛だ。
プラチナバンドこれから順次拡大中です。
Oh my god.
ソフトバンク。
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. That sort of thing happens. That just sort of thing, like, it happens. Like, I don't know why, and I don't know, like, if it has to do with, like, the novelty of it being, like, a thing, but I don't know. He's just famous. There are a lot of people who are famous that are, like, foreigners who just sort of went there and just...
あれなんだ？
湿った灰されてます。
俺じゃないか。
あそこにも。
あそこもだ。逃げるぞ。
あそこにも。
He's like their version of Can You Hear Me Now?
Yeah. Yeah.
これでバレません。
What the fuck?
これ逆に目立ってるじゃないか。
Wi-Fi スポット数何？
That's hilarious. Anyway, yeah, just randomly, oh shit, where did Fukuoka go? Oh, here we go. No, this is not it. There we go. I don't know how the fuck we got on that. Random people, famous people. I don't know how the hell we got to that point.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. But this is Fukuoka, Japan, which is further down south for anybody who's watching. A little bit hotter.
Yes, the place I've heard is really hot.
Yeah. It said like on this day it was 71 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know if that's too hot for you.
I mean, that's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
My normal limit is like 75, and then after that, until it gets to 80, then I get like, and then at past 80, I'm like, can I just stay home?
Yeah. But yeah. I don't have anything else. And I've got to use the bathroom. And I know that you wanted to go to 2042. You want to?
I would enjoy playing some 2042.
Yeah. Okay. I might.
This place looks so peaceful.
Yeah. Wait, actually, let me turn up the audio. these walkable areas are very appealing.
So open, and yet, like, it doesn't feel like they put a bunch of shit there to, like, sell you on garbage. It just feels like, hey, here's some open space.
It's very utilitarian.
And I love that there's trees everywhere.
Yes, Japanese people love nature. They go to cities for like efficiency reasons. Like they're very practical. You so totally have a thing for nerdy girls.
Yeah, I do.
They're so practical when it comes to like living expenses and things like that. But they love nature, and they just have a strong dedication to to preserving
I think that
nature.
is number one in like for attractiveness for me is like if you're smart.
Yeah.
I hate talking to like women who are just dumb.
Yeah.
And like that's not I'm not trying to like diminish anybody, but like if looks are all you're like betting on, like that ain't gonna fly with me. Like good looks are great, but you're gonna get old someday, and it's natural that your looks should fade a little. That's okay.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb.
All right. I'm going to go and use the bathroom. Do you want to keep watching this? And maybe I can come back, or do you just want to end it now?
No, we can probably end it now, I think. I think that's a good stopping point as any.
Yeah. It's 1 hour on the dot. Actually, it's 1 hour, 1 minute on the dot. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. We've been chit-chatting about a few things. Hope you enjoyed. Everybody in TikTok, you can always go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/MikeCoolKid. Check out the full version of this stream. It'll be live probably tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Nightstorm, you got any socials you want to shout out?
Not today, no.
All right, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, be cool, stay in school, brush your teeth, wash your face. Kerbal Space Program will come today, later on tonight, or tomorrow, definitely going to be doing KSP tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.
Take care, everybody. Be good to each other.
It's been real. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I just realized we didn't say that yet, so I just figured it.
I remembered the actual name after you reminded me.
Yeah, the Root Idea Podcast. That's what it's called, ladies and gents. Oh, she's tall. I like it. Okay. All right. Bye.